Welcome everybody, Nanka here, and it's time for a Souldin.
Welcome everybody, Souldin of the Grin Brothers here, and it's time for a Souldin special. A Souldin special of, well, no particular game per se, I guess mainly Alwa's Awakening here, but...
Sorry to interrupt, but as you probably have been able to tell so far in this little bit of this Evercade video, yeah, there were some problems with the audio of this video. In fact, there was problems with the audio for all 4 segments I recorded for this video, unfortunately. I've done my best to salvage what I could because I didn't want any of it to go to waste, but this video that I was making to basically show off my Evercade and show off, look, I can record games on the Evercade, hit some technical hurdles. So it's unlikely that I'll be recording much Evercade content for the time being, but I'll eventually get around to sorting out, I don't know if it's my recording system or whether it's my editing system, but either way, hopefully I'll get this matter attended to in the future. For now though, for this year, I still wanted to release an Evercade based video, so here is, instead of Evercade Excellence, which was the planned title, Evercade Errors. I'm going to show off a few Evercade related things as planned, and yeah, I hope you'll enjoy this video despite the sound not being the best in a lot of places. It does get better as the video goes along. But yeah, if you happen to end up enjoying this video, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and yeah, hope you enjoyed despite the issues that are out.
It happens all the time.
Okay.
Good, okay, it's working, yeah. Apparently, I think did I mention already that Alwa's Awakening, apparently natively made on the Evercade, so it's running all purely on the system. The land of Alwa was once a beautiful and peaceful lake. Oh yeah, today's tea I'll be having with, today is Jasmine Dragon Pearls. It's a green tea. Brew time is 2 to 3 minutes, and the brand is Wittard. Fresh night blooming jasmine layer with tender green leaves, absorbing their fragrant oil and resulting in a sweet and fresh brew with layers of majestic flavour. They kind of like the mages from that one game that's on the Mega Caps collection, which I don't own. This is kind of funny. Again, if it wasn't for like having Nanka as like an ambassador for myself, as it were, sort of thing, I would actually have had a an avatar would have probably been more like this sort of thing, you know, except probably like some green or orange glowing eyes sort of thing, and well, yeah, like that fella. Unfortunately, it's not here. Okay, and I'm gonna get confused because B is jump. I feel more natural if it was A, but B is the jump button. Can she swim? Well, a learning experience there for you folks. Alwa cannot swim. It's unfortunate how common that is for video game characters. She's got a really nice jump to her though. Talking about the Evercade games I would like to see. Like what cartridges I would like to see. And to be fair, there's like a lot of them which I want to see sort of thing. But you know, there's a typical big names that everyone mentions. Like for instance, I'd love to see a Sega collection sort of thing. Like, or a Konami and Hudson collection sort of thing. But it's like, that isn't special sort of thing. Everyone's like, mentioned those. So I figured I'd mention some collections I don't see people sort of like mentioning normally as like collections I'd like to see. A Japanese company I'd like to see a collection from is Natsumi. It'd be really cool having a Harvest Moon, a collection with Harvest Moon from the SNES sort of thing, or the Game Boy Advance games. Rocky and Pocky, heard good things about. Wild Guns, the various ninja games. They've got Ninja Warriors, Shadow of the Ninja. They've made like remakes of them recently, sort of thing. But it'd be cool to be able to just play the original versions. And actually, a game which actually made me think of this Natsumi in the first place, being it'd be really cool to see. I don't think I'm gonna make that jump. A Metabots on the collection, the various Game Boy Advance Metabots games and such. Could even just make it its own dedicated collection, sort of thing, or as part of a Natsumi collection. In fact, I think I've heard that they've actually doing more Metabots. Like, I don't know whether it's in a game or an animation, but like a Metabots video just suddenly popped up this morning.
So apparently,
the audio for this screen here, the Evercade hub menu, is really distorted. So apologise if it's still distorted as I say this, but I do have something I need to show you through the system. As you would have seen before, there are some secret games, some hidden games, and I think I've looked up how to unlock some. Okay, apparently you have to not have the cartridge inside as you do this. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go! A game unlocked made within the Evercade engine. Fairy Fire, Defender of the Fairies. It shows that the, yeah, this looks, I mean, it's both very simple, but it's like, I think question what level of power the Evercade is, sort of thing. Like, for instance, I know that, you know, it's able to, like, it recently had Glover, its first 64-bit game. Yeah, this feels very, ooh, yeah, this feels like Defender. Am I supposed to defend the fairies? Come here, ghost. Let's try out Zool. See if the audio works better on here. Anymore up. You won't see too much of the these bits otherwise. You'll probably skip over to Alice Wing, and I'll probably have to sum up what I've otherwise saying in the rest of these things. Zool is effectively sort of like being positioned as like unofficially as like an Amiga mascot. Take on sort of like Sonic, which I personally think is actually to its detriment. Like, because, the game is incredibly fast, and it's actually inconveniently so fast. Like, it's got real cool concept, real cool design motifs, and, like, I do like the collectible mechanics sort of thing. But it being so fast actually makes it really hard to do anything. You kind of blitz across the screen. I mean, look how fast he is. Yeah, assuming this audio is working, another Evercade YouTuber I follow is A Boy and His Dog. Recently followed them, sort of thing. I searched out some Evercade YouTubers, and they've ended up following them after their review of the Jane Austen video game. And yeah, they've been a very interesting channel to watch. Yeah, I got to the end, okay. I can play better at this game, it's just like, it's hard to do so with how fast it is and talk at the same time. And another game that would be really nice to see a collection of, I guess it's more of a running trend with it, what I was actually inspired more by the fact of the Super Pocket thing. I'd love to see a, Watara Supervision, Evercade collection, or even just a Super Pocket version sort of thing. You know, I think there's like a lot of potential for the Super Pockets to have like a Sega Game Gear variant sort of thing, a Neo Geo Color variant sort of thing. Very ninja-esque ability with the cloning. There we go. And I've got a health buff, Matt. No, oh. Come on, get. You need to have so many sweets in order to get to the end of the level. You know, again, very Euro platformer sort of design philosophy. But you know, like Matter Blatter, Balloon Fight, Bubble World, Climber, Dream World. You know, less more about the company developing sort of thing, but more like the system itself sort of thing. You know, like the Watara version is fascinating me sort of thing, but it's really hard to track down like all the hardware and then all different games. So like a way to do that. Oh, he respawned quick. He respawned quick. Yeah, I got that from that. He respawned quick. And you know, there's like a lot of like the obscure handheld sort of thing. That'd be really cool to just be able to have, you know, like collection or like obscure console sort of thing. Like alternatively, like if not Watara Supervision sort of thing, Dragon Fairy 2 collection would be really cool. The Dragon Fairy 2 games have such a distinctive style because the system had such a prominence of yellow sort of thing, and I think that'd be really cool. An Acorn collection, you know. The Commodore 64 has its C64 collections on the Evercade thing. A lot of people have been theorising there'd be a ZX Spectrum collection at some point, you know. So something like that would be really nice. But again, yeah, the Sonic element to Zool was actually to the detriment of Zool, because like, look how fast this guy moves. I'm barely keeping up with what's going on screen, sort of thing. Sonic's advantage with the speed is that he can roll into a ball and attack real quickly. I have to press a separate button here for the attack. Evercade Effect is the sort of like Evercade channel that I follow proper sort of thing. Well, the second channel, the first one was covering Evercade stuff, and then they got really negative for some reasons. Oh, okay. Okay, so I have to do some questing first. Yeah, so, that's why I said in the hidden game about just, talking about Evercade effects sort of thing. This is all stuff all, recorded just fine. Okay. And, the other game, the game I mentioned, the collection I mentioned I'd like to see from the hidden thing was Palace Software Collection / Titus France. Because I'd like to see collection, the Barbarian 1 and 2, Cauldron 1 and 2, and Sacred Armor of Antria, which as mentioned, it's kind of like the first Metroidvania before Metroid was even a thing. And I say Titus of France as well, because I'd like to see Super Cauldron added on there, which was made after Palace Software was bought up by Titus France. So yeah, that'd be a really cool thing to see. I keep pressing B! I have this problem a lot with the Evercade games, by the way. For some reason, because you never get a handle of the controls. Always pressing the wrong button. There we go. And there's Zoe. So on that screen, I'm going to try out my Jasmine Dragon Pearl Tea. It's funny thing about this Jasmine Dragon Pearl Tea is it's kind of like inspired a story I'm actually writing at the moment. Novel actually kind of based around Jasmine, the Jasmine Dragon Pearl Tea sort of thing. And I'm going to try to make a bunch of little novels based around with the sort of like starting point being the character drinking a cup of tea and that kind of influence what the story is about. But yeah, so let's try it. Ooh, that's really nice. I let it cool down for a bit first, and I try to get it to like 8 degrees with the water. Left it for a bit, put some cold water in, sort of thing, and then pour it into the thing. Ooh. It's bitter, but it's not like overwhelmingly bitter. It's just a very gentle bitter that rolls back, kind of settles in the middle of the tongue. Very plant-like fragrance to it, sort of thing. Well, leafy fragrance, I'd say. Ooh, that is really nice. It's like a gentle flow of bitterness that it's like it flows. It gradually builds up to just so that it doesn't overwhelm you all at once. Ooh. When I first tried this ages ago, I tried it, and I never felt that it was. I felt that it wasn't really worth the price because Jasmine Dragon Pearl is quite a bit more expensive than regular Jasmine tea. And I always felt it was only slightly better. But now that I brewed it more efficiently. I got the water to a proper cooling. I brewed for a bit longer. I got the right amount of the little pearls, as it were. The tea leaf pearls all wrapped up, sort of thing. Man, that is amazing. That is such a gentle yet bitter brew. Oh gosh, that is delectable. Like a tingle on and now it's getting to just underneath the tip of my tongue. Oh, that is absolutely lovely. Is that Jesse Fox? Oriwaru. Oh no, I already mentioned them. It's Oddsock. Oddsock is the other Evercade YouTuber that I've been following. Real pleasant chap sort of thing. Has been on a hunt for various games. He actually does a review of the Evercade games. I found him through a review of Slice By sort of thing. And Slice By was actually a game that and then he followed up with Dark By, which was convenient because I mentioned that in my Slice By in my comment to his Slice By's video. So yeah, really enjoyable. Goes in depth. Has a nice stat layout to how he does his review sort of thing because he does it as a playthrough. How many times you do a retry. How many times you do use the save state function and such sort of thing. How long it took for him and all that. So, you get a good understanding of the process and his journey with playing it. Yeah, I didn't see the cute little animation of pushing the block, so... Does that stop the fire? Yes, it does. Yeah. One of the games I would have otherwise covered, I'm saving in case it ends up winning the To Be Cushioned raffle, so... And I heard this was built-in engine sort of thing, so figured it was a good choice. After playing through this, either today or this week, I'll actually see about Funstock's got the renovation collection back online, so I'm thinking about purchasing that. The final Evercade collection I'd like to see, and one other thing other people have mentioned, is Orbital Media. And this is because I've been thinking of like Wit and Wiz and Good Boy Galaxy sort of thing, and that made me think of how Good Boy Galaxy was made as a Game Boy Advance game, similar to how this was made as a NES game. And the Orbital Media has like 3 Game Boy Advance games. It's got Scourge Hive, Racing Gears Advance, and Juker and the Monophonic Menace. A couple of those are actually also on the Nintendo DS as well, sort of thing. Much identifiable. But obviously I don't, the dual screen is probably a little bit more complicated setup to manage, so the Game Boy Advance ports are the ones that make the most sense. And it'd work well as and it'd look nice, a nice little trio pack. Okay, so there we go. Oh, okay, that recharges really quickly. But yeah, that's my Evercade based video then. Discussing the Evercade excellence, as it were, and being able to show off that, look, I've got an Evercade Versus, I've got games, and yeah, if you cover Evercade based content, I'd love to see what you've got to say. Anyways, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. I will have had Nanka pop up to advise you on that earlier. Oh, hello. Going out the flame in the center of this room. Doing so will let you start from here if your adventure comes to an end. Very cute sprite there. Yeah. Please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry about the audio issues. That was interesting to come across. And cheerio!